as we're looking at closing out this year, 2023, I kind of wanted to take a look back on the pieces of gear that I have carried the most, more than any other out of the year. So with that said, let's take a look at my most carried gear compiled into one EDC. So let's get it. Talking about the knives that I've carried the most out of any other, there are two. And I have a folding knife that I carried more than any other, and a fixed blade that I carried more than any other. And if you know me at all, then you know that there is no surprise here. So the folding knife that I carried the most in 2023 is the WE-. I could not get enough of this knife all of this year, and for good reason. It is my first expensive knife. The knife that held that title before that was my Benchmade Griptilian, and for $150, that was a really tough spend. But I wanted to get something to commemorate my first Father's Day, and coming in at almost double that was this guy. And it's been my favorite knife ever since, and I'm glad that I pulled the trigger on it because it is just a fantastic knife, and one that is my favorite to carry. One, because I've grown to really be a big fan of this harpoon blade. It just looks so good. It is really nice to use, especially this Wharncliffe tip here is a really nice finger placement for drag cuts and utility cuts and things like that. But this thing is a cardboard eater. It slices through just about anything you throw at it. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about any one piece of gear, so the fixed blade that I've carried more than any other this year is this guy, Bradford Guardian 3. And as you can probably tell from the sheath, it has seen some pocket time. And this knife, I really only started getting into fixed blades towards the tail end of summer, but since then I have acquired 5 now. So within the last couple of months, I have grown my fixed blade collection by a lot. But the Bradford Guardian 3 takes the #1 place for my most carried fixed blade. Now for the watch is one that I got for Christmas last year as a gift from my wife. And it was, this is gonna sound dumb to say, but it was my nicest watch. And so I didn't really want to beat it up or, get crap on it or whatever. And then come probably June or July, I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm gonna just wear it and see what happens. And it did not leave my wrist. And I mean that. It did not leave my wrist for 5 months. 4 months. About 5 months. This watch did not leave my wrist. And the watch we're talking about is the Timex Expedition. Really sleek watch, inexpensive. It runs about $40. And this thing is a tank. I've beat this watch to crap, and it is still holding strong. Not a single scratch on the case or the crystal here. And it, besides the band, you would almost never be able to tell it was worn. So that just goes to show how good this watch is, and punches way above its price range and holds its own next to watches $100, even $200, in my opinion. What I have on right now is a new watch that I just got in from Ver, and this watch is $150. These watches are right on par with each other, which is pretty cool to see from Timex. So good on you, Timex, for making a really good watch. Now, the Prybar is the Lynch Northwest open door policy. When I got it, it was a coyote tan. It's not coyote tan anymore because I have customized this so much. I sanded a lot of the finish off and flame anodized it the best that I could. So that is why this looks pretty different from most any Prybar that you've seen come out of Lynch Northwest. It's because this particular finish didn't. This is courtesy of Everyday Zach. So that's been my Prybar and probably will be for a while because that thing is sweet. I love it. And the pen that I've carried way more than any other pen is the Big Idea Design bolt action pen. And I've also flame anodized this as well. So it's not the typical stone wash that you see. It's got some color to it. A little bit of bronzy, a little bit of blues, purples. I like it. And this was really fun to do. I love flame anodizing. I have a whole video on it if you want to go take a look back through my channel. So for lights, the two, because there's two. Not entirely sure which one I carried more. So you get both. So the lights that I've carried the most are these two. I have the Baton 3 Pro in Desert Tan and the Baton 3 Pro Max, also in Desert Tan. And I want to say this one has seen more wear or abuse because this is my work light for a long time. And I'll try and get as close as I can up here. But that bezel right about here is so worn from rubbing other things in my pocket, but especially this base. I spilled a whole bucket of screws out of my work van, and to pick up all the screws, I used this as a magnet to catch a handful of them and just clean them up that way. So it wore off a lot of the paint, but surprisingly it was a really good use for the magnet on the bottom of this one. And then the Pro Max, towards the end of the year, this was my main hitter when it came to work because of the runtime. I have a whole video talking about this light way back towards the, I want to say, beginning of the year. And yeah, this thing is an absolute no-brainer for flashlights. So the key organizer that I've been using more than anything I've ever used in the past has been the key bar. And I like this, one, because of the amount of keys that it holds, but two, it's just a really well-built, well-thought-out system. It's got keys up on the top, keys on the bottom, and right now I have it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 keys plus a little titanium, little pry bar, bottle opener, little tool on there. And it also has a pocket clip. I usually just use it as a little pocket to hang on my shirt or my bag in the morning. I'll just stick my keys to the outside like that. That, I think, rounds out my most used and most carried gear for all of 2023. So yeah, I think that's it. Let me know what your most used gear is for the year and what you're really looking forward to next year as well. Gear that you're excited for, releases that you're looking forward to. Let me know all those down in the comments below. And with all those things said, until next time, peace.